Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It is the 8th of October, 2024. My name is Kyle. I am here with Mrs. Olson and it is time for Maker Notes. And today we're going to celebrate New York. Mrs. Olson has never been to New York. That's a fun fact. She just kind of lives here, hangs out here in Kent, Washington, just outside of Seattle. But we can all dream, right? Sometimes we dream about going places, and that is what she is doing today. So she's wearing this really cool scarf. We've talked about this technique before. The pattern is from Garn Manufacturer, and it comes as a kit. And we have this kit, that's what we're talking about today. So when we look at it, just wearing it, it just sort of looks like a stripy scarf like it does here. But when we take the piece off and hold it at an angle, you're gonna see the magic of shadow knitting. So when we hold this at an angle, you start to get to see the patterning show up. And it's really hard to show you the whole thing here because this is a very long scarf, but this is the city of New York, and there's a skyline there, and you can see the words. And in this picture here, which we took, at an angle, you can see what this really cool scarf looks like when it is viewed from an angle. So you could use this as a table runner or something maybe, or have it framed or stretch around stretcher bars and put it in a hallway. So when you're walking down the hall at an angle, view it at an angle, you can see the city skyline and all of the text. This technique is not difficult. It is really just knit stitches and purl stitches. Let me bring this up close to you, and I'll go to actually a place on this pattern where there's a little bit of stuff happening. It is just, you can see there's the pattern, but it's really just knit stitches and purl stitches in the different colors. So in this case, you're working with black and white. We would go, a combination of knit stitches and purl going one way, and then you just knit all the way back. It is a really, really easy technique. We have a tutorial that is free. You can download it through Ravelry. Just click on the link in our newsletter, or if you go onto Ravelry, you can search the word shadowy practice and you'll find the free download there. That's a little square that just has a little checkerboard in it. And then Kim and I did a video recording that where we go through and talk about how easy the technique is, and we walk you through it step by step. So if you're not quite sure how to do it, it's really easy. Anyone can do this. If you can cast on, knit, purl, bind off, read a chart, you're good to go. So the shadow knitting kit, the New York one, is the one we are talking about. Has two different yarns in it. We made it simple, it's just black and white this time. And the yarn itself is a wool-free yarn. So this is the yarn. It is called Lola. It is a multi-plied yarn, so it's a number of different, so it comes in black and white. Each of these is a 150-gram cake, so it's all bound and ready to go. And it's a series of different strands. So you can see the different strands there. So you're gonna hold all those together as you're knitting. This is a fingering weight project. So the needle, which isn't included in the kit, that you need a US 2. 24 inch to 30 inch, just a thick circular is all you need. We'll talk about needles in a second. And you need the yarn, of course, and then you need the pattern. So the pattern itself comes printed. It's a printed pattern that only is available with the kit, and it's just a series of knitting and purling with either the white yarn or the dark yarn. And the instructions are written, so there's all kinds of written instructions. So you can go row by row that way, or you can use the chart. And I think when you look at the chart at an angle, you might be able to, you can see it in person. You can see the different patterns as they reveal themselves. But you just go row by row in the chart or row by row in the written instructions, knitting and purling with one yarn at a time. It's really easy to do. Like I said, this pattern comes from Garn Manufacturer in Germany, so I also have a small additional supplemental handout that talks about how to navigate the pattern, because some of the abbreviations that are in the pattern might be unfamiliar to you, but this helps you understand how to do it. So it's kind of a fun adventure in discovering shadow knitting. I hope you'll give it a shot. I think it is a fun thing to do. It is a very easy project. It does require paying attention, of course, because each row is a little bit different than the one before because the pattern is changing. So that is the project we're talking about. There's only so many of these, so when they're gone, they are gone, and only black and white. So that's that. The other thing that is New York focused is our New York project bag. So I designed these actually for Vogue Knitting in New York. It has a little tiny heart as the zipper charm, and the I Heart New York, the heart there is concentric, which is a really fun yarn from Haiku. And there are some little hidden things in here. There's a blueprint of the city, and Times Square is sort of where it's focused on, and very up close, if you look at the text in there, it's got some knitting related text. And on the back, there is a marker that shows us where north is. And of course there's yarn on that little indicator as well. So these are a fun little zippery pouch. It is perfect for you to carry your project if you'd like to. We print, cut, and sew these in our studio. So if you'd like to get one of those, you can grab one of them now. And then the other thing that I want to talk about in the newsletter, I told you this kit doesn't include a needle, so we need to get a needle. So the needle that I recommend is this one here. This is a Skacel by Atti. It is a turbo needle. The turbo is the one that started it all. It is the original, and the turbo has a nice tip that is not super sharp. And this works really well for the multi-plied yarns, the ones that have lots of different strands, or if you're working holding many strands of yarn together, that since that tip is a little less pointy, it helps reduce the chance of you getting between those plies and splitting your yarn when you're knitting. So this works really well with the Lola yarn, which is this one that's from Garn. It also works really well with Concentric, which is another yarn that has many plies in it that you work all together. So if you need some needles, the fixed circulars, the Skacel by Atti Turbo Circular is 20% off now through Sunday, which is the 13th of October. So go ahead and stock up on those. They are a wonderful, wonderful needle. Skacel has these in stock ready to get them shipped out to you. And of course they come with a lifetime warranty. So that blue cord means that these are made for the North American market. That's us, the United States and Canada. So if anything goes wrong with it, manufacturer's defects, you just reach out to Skacel or just reach out to us, and they'll do what they can to make it right. So that is a very cool feature of these needles. And I think, my friends, that is it. If you have questions or need anything from us, you're always encouraged to reach out. You can give us a call, 206-747-7121, or give us an email, hello@makersmercantile.com. We answer the phones and emails Monday through Friday from 9 till 3. That's when we are here. And of course, if you're in the area, come hang out and visit with us. So in the meantime, go get your kit. Start knitting on New York, and while you're doing that, plan a trip to go visit this really beautiful state and maybe New York City. There is, I hear, an adventure coming up in just a couple months. Vogue Knitting live in New York is happening again. So maybe it'd be a fun thing to have and wear and take some selfies in Times Square with. So that is it from us. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will see you again on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.